So, I mean, I know, obviously, this is something that we were very much working together with, but for everybody else who's like watching, we got the different faces, and all these paintings linked together, and I think that might be kind of obvious to some people, but maybe you can kind of explain what that process was with how these paintings linked together.
So yeah, I mean, it was just like I sat down, you know, like I said, sat down with Tyler, and he was like, "Why don't you just do what you know you're good at? You know, what you not whatever that I've been doing, that I know."
Get back to your roots, almost, sort of.
Yeah.
Thing.
So I did that, and I told him, you know, I was telling him just to make a whole bunch of, you know, weird faces, and it was kind of just like, all right, that's good, I like that. It just kind of just came, you know. So, and then piecing it together is kind of more or less supposed to be, you know, so obviously this is the first one. So you look at it, and it's just kind of that frustrated moment that everybody has. It's not like you have to necessarily be going insane to have it, but it can feel. So that's like, you know, the beginning of it, whatever, and then, you know, so yeah, so then it goes to this one, and these are, well, no, it goes to that guy over there. So then that one is the one all the way to the
left. This one?
This one's first, and then that one.
Oh,
so the one all the way to the right's kind of more or less supposed to, it's like that breaking point where he's kind of losing it. This guy's just kind of falling deeper into whatever his frustration, and so then it goes to this one. And this is kind of supposed to be that, you know, the moment where it's just you're losing it. You're kind of so lost in your thoughts and your situation and everything you're dealing with. That you just go blank.
Yeah.
You just kind of.
It's like that one is almost like a fear of what's happening, and then this one's almost like it's just so overwhelming.
Yeah.
You can't even really comprehend.
Can't even focus. Yeah. So then that's where these two kind of come into play. So.
Which actually, I thought we'd grab this one.
And show, yeah.
And because this one was actually originally supposed to be the album
cover. So yeah, so.
And here, hold it up just because it's a little bit, it was a little out of the picture of it. So this one was originally, but we just kind of felt that the one that ended up being the album cover kind of, to us, played like a sort of a similar role there.
Yeah.
So we were able to swap them out pretty easily, and we just thought that this one actually was going to work better. And man, I have just fallen in love with this so much. It's really cool to actually be holding this in my hands. I've had them under your supervision since we wrapped it up.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of like you were saying, the starting of it all.
Yeah. So this was the first one I did. So yeah, that was the first one. So then it's this one, you know, and then it goes to, that's more or less when you just have completely, that's it, you know, you've lost it.
Yeah, you can't, you're angry that you're feeling this way, you can't change it.
Yeah.
I mean, just to put it in simple words there.
Exactly. I mean, it's pretty blunt. There's not too much, you know, metaphorically, it's just plain out, you know, because everyone goes through frustrating situations and everyone handles it differently, and, you know, I'm sure there's moments where you do just kind of lose it.
Yeah.
So the last one is kind of where that's just oblivion.
Yeah.
You know, you've kind of, you know, and you can kind of take, what's nice about this, I think, is that you can kind of take any story you want from who this guy is, what he's dealing with, what's going on, what happens to him, and so you could look at this and think that this guy did just go insane, and he's wherever he's in, you know, he's...
Yeah, you know, like you said, like, imagine that person in the hospital chair, just catatonic type state almost, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like, I totally agree with you, man, and that's what I think is so cool. And I think this artwork definitely takes some thought. Like, you gotta look at it, and you have to really absorb it and let it affect you. And, but I think there's definitely something, like, profound about it, where I think, like I told you, the faces, they're just looking at you, and it's weird looking something in the face like that almost. Yeah. And especially something so familiar that I think anybody can really relate to, because we all go through times where we just can't handle what's going on. You know, it's just very emotional situations, very intense situations, and you just go through these different phases.
Yep.
And I think anybody, I mean, even though I think sometimes, well, you have where this came from for your experience, but that's exactly why this stuff happened, because you know, you're human, you go through these experiences, and now it's on the canvas.
Yeah.
You know, I've gone through this stuff plenty of times myself, and I can totally relate to each one of these paintings, and I know anybody, you know, can do the same.